and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Motorsport for some racing, a little bit of a different way actually, for this session. So we're racing B-class cars. However, the vehicles had to start above B-class. So through either engine swaps or ballast, you would drop the vehicle down. Some can get decent amount of sort of PI drops. We weren't allowing turbo glitch cars because you can no longer do that glitch, which is a shame. So it's not really fair. Only a few of us might have a car still hanging around that does. But yeah, vehicles were going to have to be dropped. And the entire reason I came up with this set of regulations is this very Porsche. I ran it in a built versus bought challenge we did a little while ago. It was quite fun, and I was curious what an entire sort of field of cars might be like. And because we now have ballast and we have some wackier engine swaps, this is something that we could actually do and have a bit of variety. We head to oh, I'm at the back. God, it's going to be tough. It's a very wet Kyle Army, and I'm a long, long way back for this race. What can the Porsche do? I mean, okay, benefits. Number one, rear engine, good traction. Now, we don't have the benefits, of course, of all-wheel drive that some of the cars will have here, but it's actually quite wet. I didn't realise it was this much rain going on. But, yeah, we got rear engine that will help our traction compared to some cars, but, yeah, it's not going to be anywhere near as much as the all-wheel drive machines. Oh, I was hoping to try and sneak in that gap. Sorry, Stevie, I thought I was clear. I didn't realise how fast the GTR was catching there. And, again, there was a sort of a... I essentially did almost the same to Danger Man as Stevie did to me. There was a sort of gap there that appeared for a bit, and I tried to put my car in it and couldn't quite. We know we've got good straight line speed compared to some, especially compared to the GTRs. They seem to be struggling. Longbo's Mercedes, I think, is very, very... It might be very good in the corners, but it was very slow down the straights. Oh, sorry, Steve. I got some assistance. I've got a GTR in a hurry behind me through all of this. We are side by side. The thing is, I'm side by side with the Alpha, but I'm going to end up stuck with the Mercedes if I am not careful here. It's all getting a little bit... It's getting a little bit moving abouty, for want of a better turn of phrase. That about sums up what my Porsche is doing. But it's fine, it's fine. We're heading up towards the hairpin now. I actually do seem to genuinely have a decent amount of straight. It's weird. It's not a very Alex thing to do, but it does seem to be the case. We have got some good straight line speed in this. It's got full Forza Aero. It's max front, minimum rear, which is normally what I do end up using. We've got a little bit more turn in, we've got a little bit more bite than in Pega's BMW there. Although we are going to be... Oh no, there's been a spinner up ahead. I've had to bail on that one. Impega was going for a pass on me and was already committed. As I think someone may have had a disconnect, and that might have caused some grief up there. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So Impega went to go fight past me, which I knew was coming, but then there was a crash, and we were both going to be a little bit wide. It was unfortunate, but yeah, it's one of those that we were sort of already committed to the manoeuvre, and it's too late to change our mind. It happens. Unfortunately, yeah, we lost a little bit of time. We lost a couple of places in all of that. Steve's done well with the Alfa Romeo there to kind of make their way through. We're going to try and go... Yeah, so we're going to try and go underneath. Problem is, it's a bit of a tight line, and then we struggle to make the most on the exit, although we've just got the power coming up the hill. Oh, there was some clonking. I think Longbow was trying to cut underneath the Alpha, and once again, I was already committed to going up the inside at that point, and it's wet and it's difficult to suddenly change your mind when you're already committed into a corner. We're up to 10th. Not the best, I mean, it's not the best start. It's been quite busy for us here, is the challenging part. Oh, we're going to lock the brakes a little bit. I see a green bonnet of a Mercedes through all of that. I imagine the Daytona's having fun here. There is going to be probably... I say difficult conditions. My Porsche is quite oversteery, to be honest with you. Again, it is a very unlike me car. It does tend to oversteer a bit more. I tried to... Because the difficulty is, with the Porsches in this game, they tend to be understeery, right? So you've got to try and tune that out a bit to try and get some quarter speed. But, of course, trade-off is, well, that probably makes it slide, which is... Yeah, I feel like we've got good turn-in, but I'm a little bit nervous that we're going to have a big spin at some point, because the back end moves around a lot over there. Oh, someone's in the gravel. That looks like, I think that was a Gliska in an RS3. doing a little bit of sandcastle building. Oh, through there. Daytona's out wide. Longbow's got the hurry. See, Longbow's finding the frustration that's normally what I end up doing. Longbow's got all the grip in the world through the corners, but none of the straight line speed to fight with the Porsche. I mean, we're not the fastest car in a straight line here, but I wonder how fast that Viper is. God, I don't even know what engine. I don't know if the Viper would have its standard engine, whether the Viper would be changed. I feel like Follow the Viper's a good shout. No, we're quicker than everything down here. We actually have got straight line speed on everything. I'm having to push the Viper down the road. Hurry up, Viper! Forwards! Forwards! Onwards! And all that. I don't really want to be on the outside of the Alfa Romeo. There's not going to be a gap for a Daytona to slot itself into. Oh, we're going to slide up the hill. Sorry, Steve. Didn't want to cut you off. But the problem is the back end of my car just starts moving and I've got to counter steer, otherwise we're going to spin. But it does mean we sort of just wander across in front of the out. It was not an intentional sort of block. It's just my car was wandering that way. There is nothing that I'm going to be able to do to... Well, the thing that I'm going to do to catch it is going to, unfortunately, make life a little bit awkward. Thankfully, Steve saw what was happening and, you know, stayed out of the throttle. We didn't get tangled up together. We're up to 7th now. We've got another Porsche in front of us that seems a little bit more stable, although that's just got a little bit wide into this next corner. The Viper, we're faster than the Viper at a straight line, which is nice to see. Whether we're going to be able to use that somewhere to get past. This is a good... Kyalami's a tough place to pass. Not quite as tough as like Mid-Ohio, but it is a difficult track to overtake on. I might actually be able to get the Viper here. If the Viper gets hung out wide, we may be able to use a little bit of Porsche teamwork. Now, we're faster than the Viper, but it's only just. We are going to be... It's going to be brave through here, side by side. We make it stick just about. Speed slap was good. Oh, no. That's a very, very early tight line through there. Christ. I was not expecting... I was so busy thinking about where the Viper was going to be, did not realise the Porsche ahead was going to back us up quite so much through there. We're going to have a go into the final corner here. We're going to put ourselves alongside. It's going to be a drag race out of here. Who can get the power down the best? Oh, big slide from the purple car. Still fighting the back end of that across the road. Well, I mean, I'm going to guess... neither of us had a very good run onto the straight. That's the problem. Now Steve's got that Alfa Romeo to the inside. It's 3 wide into the first corner. Who dare break the latest? The two Porsches outbraked the Alfa, but the Alfa's going to have the better line on the exit. I don't know where the Alfa is. I'm hoping it's not alongside. It is there again. Steve's having a look with that Giulia. And this time around, we're going to give some space. The Alfa's going to be on a tight line, going to slide on the exit, and it's on the wrong side. It's a very big group of cars we've got here. It's on the wrong side coming up to here, and sure enough, Steve didn't want any of that. We're on such a tight line, I cannot carry as much speed into there on that tighter a line. So, yeah, you're going to have to look for another way around. I mean, we've got ourselves to 5th. I just don't think we're going any further forward than this. We've got a couple of laps to go. We actually struggled a little bit on the exit there. I don't think second's not going to do it, but third's not quite there either. Gear's not quite right for this section. Here comes the Alfa Romeo once more. It's going to have a look into the hairpin. Now, if we can keep the Alfa pinned down the bottom, I might be able to use enough speed on the exit. I mean, you saw the Alfa sliding as they tried to get on the power. And sure enough, we have got ourselves off the hairpin well there to keep hold of the position. Now, I think we're going to be vulnerable. Definitely going to be vulnerable if we do that. Didn't even think that was that silly under brakes. The Daytona's having a look. That could save me a little bit here. One of the things that could really help me is if we've still got enough acceleration. I know we outrun the Daytona in a straight line. Daytona probably outhandles us. It's lighter. We are going to make it difficult. I mean, we parked it where I wanted it to. Steve, I think, was trying to dive underneath, just misjudged it a little bit. We're being annoying, is what we're doing. I've got a car that's a little bit faster in a straight line. Not much. I don't even know. It's not that much better top end. It's got a little bit more drive in a couple of places. And we are just being annoying to an Alfa Romeo. That is all we're doing. I wonder if It might be the traction. It might be the fact that I have got the rear engine and I can get my power down out of some of these corners a little better than the Giulia, which is just enough to annoy it. Or even if we get it a little bit squirrely, I just didn't get that section right. I got the first part good, and then we got the rest of it wrong. And now, once again, Steve is stuck on that wide line. If I'm on such a tight line, I can't. It's an awkward line. Oh, Steve's had controller issues, I think. That is unfortunate. I mean, it's unfortunate for them. It was a good battle. Oh, it's come back, whatever it is. Or it was some sort of like laggy. I don't know. Don't know what that was. Unusual. No, seconds really not where it's at through it. I mean, this section here, I am a moving chicane almost. I really struggle through there. The Daytona will close. The Merc will close. But then we come up the hill, and they are just not close enough to really be doing anything. You can have a little half-hearted look, but you're not going to get a pass done there, and then we can use the power. Honestly, oh, and they've had an issue of their own back there. I don't quite know what happened behind me. Yeah, I'm not quite sure I'm getting the braking points right in this car. I'm not going to lie. There's still a little bit... Like, when you're in traffic, it's sort of... I'm essentially learning and following what others are doing. And now I'm out here on my own. I'm just not completely sold. I'm not completely sold on what I'm doing. I'm not completely sure. But either way, we've got one more lap to go here to try and fend off from the Giulia. Yeah, I mean, there is more speed in this car. I shall be honest. I have done a good job. I'm happy with how I have gone through the pack to get here. And now I've got to the front of the pack. I'm driving terribly. It's just a little bit of inconsistency from me. We're, you know, messing up braking points and all of that sort of stuff. The Alpha is right behind us through here. This time around, though, we stop it nicely for turn one. And yeah, we can just pull on the acceleration zones. That's all it is for me. It's not even that we're crazy faster than the Giulia top end. These low-speed acceleration zones, we can just get away. And this time Steve isn't alongside. We can run into this corner like normal. I mean, we don't have a huge amount of mid-corner speed through here. The back end does want to have a wander. The Alfa Romeo can have a look to the outside. It will try and cut underneath on the exit, I would expect, but I think it's going to struggle to do that. It's got a good amount of acceleration, but it's just not quite enough. So yeah, we are continuing... Oh, I went down the gear, didn't mean to. We are continuing to frustrate an Alpha at the moment. The Viper's fighting back. Now we've sent Steve the long way round. Yeah, that was a accidental misshift on that one. So we were very slow mid-corner again. It's just annoying. Steve wanted to duck underneath, but I did exactly what I'm supposed to. I parked it. We parked the car on the apex. Don't give room for a cutback for a vehicle, you know, that has got that little bit more grip than you. And make the most of our strengths, which in this case is that traction. Steve is going to look around the outside. I think they're going to try and cut underneath again on the apex. Now, the thing I've got to be really careful about, what I'm doing is very dangerous. If Steve has enough grip, they can just go around the outside of me. Oh, or if I put a wheel on the dirt, there is a limit to how much defensive driving can do. We will once more park it, make it very difficult. Well done, Porsche. We should have the traction. We should have the acceleration to just hold on to fifth. We annoy an Alfa Romeo for a whole race, but we make it very difficult to pass. I think there was a bit more speed in that car. I'm not going to lie. I don't think I drove it quite. I don't think I had the pace of the top group. I think they were a little bit too fast. But I do think... I think like a 205, a mid 205-ish is probably... reasonable for that car. Yeah, I didn't drive it amazingly. I'd say we did very well getting up the order. Struggled a little bit once we got to the front, but then we defended. We made a wide Porsche. We made it difficult to pass, and yeah, its traction off the corner is yeah, pretty damn mighty. We head to, oh, for God's sake. Mugello for our next race. Game, really? Why? What have I done to you? What have I done to deserve this punishment? But anyway, I do digress slightly. Yes, Mugello. I don't know if this is going to be a good track for my car or not particularly. I mean, we are much more of an acceleration, straight-liney speed car. We'll like the start-finish straight quite a lot. Oops, sorry, Rusky. We're not going to be quite so great through these corners. I will say, so these regulations were fun. They're different. They're a bit interesting. It has just become Porsches against the world. There are so many Porsches. It wasn't really the intention for that. Oh, God. Yeah, a little bit of contact between the Daytona and the front of one of the classic 911 turbos, and that went a bit dicey. Everyone has got out of it the other side there. So Carver's car, so we've seen Scanzi's car as well. He's going to be very good in the corners. We saw Longbow's AMG. Oh, that's not going to work. I'm going to be sneaky there. Those AMGs, they're quick in the corners, but they just die down the straights. So we kind of waited a moment and picked our opportunity to sneak the GT3 past. Of course, I'm not going to be anywhere near as good in the corners as Carver's car. That's going to have bigger tyres, way more grip, but it just dies when we get down the straights. Oh, I'm on the outside of a BMW. I don't know if I really want, because I don't really want to put myself out of place through these corners, because I know that's where I'm weaker. I want to make sure I can be close to them in a straight. The BMW doesn't seem too slow at a straight line, actually, to be fair. Oh, Carver's got that turbo. Have a look around the outside. We're going to get very, very stuck in the middle of this. Z4 washes up wide. Porsches are going to mug the BMW through there. We're going to try and squeeze our way through that section, and we do. Now, I don't want to go to the outside at the final corner, but the Aston Martin will cover that. Not unreasonable, really, to do such a thing. There is a Hordes recovering after a trip into the kitty litter on the outside of the final corner. Right, who has more straight line speed than who? Down here, the Aston Martin does not have much of it. We are going, although I can tell the Aston Martin either isn't running manual and clutch or doesn't have a race transmission, because it died as it went for a gear shift there. We've got good top end, but I don't want to be trying to go around the outside of everybody. There is something in the gravel off at turn 1, something gone very deep off at turn 1. We are side by side with Hordes. There's a little bit of paint traded through there. The Daytona probably a little better mid-corner. There is a light bow going sideways, and Pega's on the outside. We are through all of that. I think so. That 911 turbo at Carver's is insanely good in the corners, but that long straight really just kills it. Hordes passes Shadow's Aston Martin. That's an interesting choice, that Aston. I haven't seen one of those yet so far. More difficult to PI drop, probably very heavy, I would imagine, in this one. As Rusky and Impega are going side by side. This part of the track my car doesn't really like. These kind of medium speed corners, it's really not a big fan of. I want low speed corners and acceleration zones. That's what I'm after here. We're going for a really brave maneuver around the outside of Shadow. Back end wanted to let go, but I've got the speed. The Zagato is very cool. I do quite like them, but it's probably a little bit too heavy in this field. It might have some big tyres, or the back end wanted to let go. We're going to be in trouble if we're not careful. Oh, Carver's turned up again. Thankfully, they're also busy fighting each other that my little wiggly moment we got away with. We're going to run Carver in quite deep through there. Didn't quite mean to push it on the turbo as much as I did in the end of that. Right, I don't want to be side by side through here. My car is a bit dicey through there, but we're out the other side. Here comes Shadow. I didn't really want this fight. I wanted to try and focus forward on the group ahead, not get sucked into the battle behind. Now I'm hoping we're going to run away down the straight. I'm hoping once we can get the car out onto the start-finish straight, we can go bye-bye and not have to deal with that turbo for half a lap at least. And we're off. Okay, I'm happy about that. That little crumb of reassurance that we can just bolt it away for a moment. We know Carver's going to catch back up again. But, yeah, we've made the most of our opportunities. And let's go chase after Impega. And, well, Rusky, if they keep fighting one another, it probably won't be long, because we can enjoy a little moment of peace. I see some sand being kicked up. Oops, some sand from the BMW as well. Only the faintest of taps from Impega there. I don't know who went off further up. The Daytona is quick as one would expect. I mean, we're catching this group now, about to join this fight. Danger Man's got that BMW now. That BMW is on drag tyres, which is a brave choice. Now it drops the PI, and it doesn't look terribly slow in the corners. It'll have very good brakes because those tyres, they don't have much lateral grip, but they have, I guess, longitudinal grip. Is that what they would call it on a tyre? I don't actually know. I presume so. Now we have got tyre wear on, although drag tyres don't seem to wear as quick in this game as they have in previous Forzas, so that's unlikely to be a problem. That's a very difficult thing that I'm trying to do there. I was trying to I was trying to stay ahead of the of Carver's turbo and not run into the back of Danger Man all at the same time. Such a fine line. Right, we are kind of stuck in this little bit of we're in a really awkward spot here. I really want to find a way past Danger Man, but I've got to be really careful because Carver's turbo is right behind us. Now, will Danger Man defend into the final corner? Will Danger Man have the grip to defend into the final corner is probably a better question. I'm trying to duck underneath for an exit here. On that BMW is just a moving roadblock at the moment, and it's got good speed. So the M3's got some great straight line speed, which is a little bit of a problem for me. I can't just breeze past it down a straight, which I have done for some cars. They're 3 wide further up. Gliska's having an old lonely race up at the front. We're having a great fun battle. I mean, we've had to come from the back again, but it has made things interesting here. At least, there is that. We're catching the group ahead as well. I mean, Ruski's sort of carved their way through that a little bit. I don't quite know how I'm going to get past this BMW. Like that, but then I've got to have a really big lift. Hordes gives us a little push. I mean, Hordes is going to get stuck behind this. We're going to send it. This is a big dive. It's a long way around the outside. It's going to make me very slow on the exit. Sorry, it's one of those unfortunate ones. I'm sorry, Danger Man. I'm going to end up in a weird place. I'm not trying to cause problems, of course, but we're just going to end up out of position slightly. Now, the Daytona is going to want to find a way past. It's not going to want to be stuck behind my Porsche, especially through here. Hordes can have a look to the outside. Honestly, it's probably got the grip. Oh, I got twitchy mid-corner. We almost wiped out Hordes. The problem is, if I'm going side by side, I would really not recommend going to the outside of me through those corners. Because if on such a tight line in the back end, let's go. We saw a little bit at Kyalami. We didn't end up hitting the Alpha we were racing. But, yeah, if anything goes slightly wrong and I get a little crossed up, I got to catch it. And, yeah, we end up wandering into the car on our outside. Shadow is going to draw alongside, but you're going to struggle through there. Oh, there's been some kerfuffle up ahead that saw the... which one was it? I think it was the Mustang went for an adventure. This has been a very busy pack of cars here. Now, we know Carver's isn't great in a straight line, so we are likely to pass the turbo now down here. I was hoping to try and get a bit of slipstream. Right, duck into the group. So, okay, the other GT3 here is nothing like mine. It's way slower in a straight line than mine. In fact, we're faster than everything down here. But we have got to get it stopped for turn 1. Oh, they've all stumbled into each other a little bit down here. Impega and Hordes were busy trying to outbrake one another. I have profited immensely from this one. Carver's now going to get stuck behind all of us who don't have the grip of their turbo. Oh, and yeah, again, if I'm on these tight lines, it's actually, as soon as I try and take one of these tight lines, my car gets really, the back end just lets go on it. It's very difficult to race closely with these cars here. Impega's struggling a little bit with the BMW. Hordes has got so much speed. Go, go, go. I don't want to overtake you, Impega. I want to push you towards the next corner. Yeah, I don't really want to fight with the i8. I definitely don't want to go around the outside there, but I ended up out of position. I didn't have a choice. Oh, God, let's not do this again. I mean, the BMW might be useful as almost as a blocker on Hordes' Shelby. Right, Carver's going to draw alongside once again through this section. We are on the wrong side. Now, I'm not gonna fight the turbo around the outside. It's not my battle, that one. There is absolutely no reason to fight that battle. We'll lose it. My goal is be close to Carver as we come out of the final corner. We know we've got great straight line speed in this car, so if we can stay close for the come out of the final corner, maybe we can beat them. Maybe we could get a slipstream on Impega or something, although I'll be a little bit wide. No, we're done. We're done. Back end, let go. We brushed a curb and that was it. That was it for me. It wanted to move around and yeah, we just lost some time. It's a kind of a... Oh, it's always like a little bit of a curse with this car, and I cannot now get it to turn. The difficulty to get rid of some of the understeer to make it work has ended up making it quite twitchy, and it works when you're on your own, but in traffic it's difficult. Excellent battle, great fun racing. We come home in 10th. Yeah, I mean, couldn't match the Daytona for pace. I don't know, I mean, we certainly couldn't match the cars further up in that one. Although we were in traffic quite a lot of it, we were fighting each other quite a lot of it, which probably wouldn't have helped. It was definitely an interesting adventure. An adventure in oversteer and a quite scary Porsche. Well, there we go. That is it for the Porsche. I liked it. Mine was a pretty good car. We were hamstrung a little bit by grid positions. Honestly, it worked better at some tracks than others. As I said, sort of lots of low-speed stop-start circuits it would work very well at. The medium speed, the higher speed stuff, it did not quite have the grip. I think that the downside of me not going for the tyres was that, well, we had some grip issues in the corners. The plus point is that we had some good acceleration. We had some power, or probably more lack of weight is the bigger thing really with this. I liked it though. It was fun. It was an interesting thing to do. It was interesting to see what cars were bought, what cars were working, and I mean, you know, some of the expected stuff did well. Like, you know, Daytona, for example, could do well. But there were some interesting results. It's just a fun way to try and build cars a little bit differently in this game. But there we go. That is going to be it for this video. If you'd like to sign up to take part in the next one, you can via our Discord. There'll be a link in the description. Find the Versus Community sign-up section, and you can register to take part in there. That, though, is going to be it from me. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.